Howdy, everyone. This is Konstantin. Welcome to another daily update from Mother Russia on things that are happening here in the south of Russia. I am in the very heart of this country, and I'm giving you another message today. Well, it's going to be kind of a message and kind of invitation to think about what is happening in Russia currently and what will happen soon. I am going to be touching a very sensitive topic of the very fabric of relationship between Russian people and the Russian government. And of course, I'm going to be giving you my point of view. In no way I am the authority. I am just a regular guy, and I'm giving you my view of what's happening. I'm living in Russia, and I'm keeping my eyes open, and that's pretty much it. I am back to drinking tea today. Oh, I missed it. Missed it so much. Oy. I missed it so much. My friends, I read a pretty interesting article today, a piece of news. And it's a tiny piece of news, but I like to kind of assemble the puzzle. And the big picture consists of many tiny pieces of the puzzle, just like I saw today. That piece is that this is June, late June, and of course, Russian seniors graduate from high school and they're going to have prom night. Now, prom night is held throughout Russia on the very same day or on the very same night, and it's kind of the same thing to Russian teenagers as to the American ones, to the pretty much throughout the world. That's the last day of school, okay? All the exams are over in the past, and they just want to go wild and get together. Many Russian teenagers want to drink, and parents, police monitor, teachers monitor, not allowing them to do that, but they do it anyway in many cases. I know when it was my prom night, we had champagne flowing freely in front of our parents, teachers, no one cared. Good old 1993, right? This day, the prom night, there are bans on selling alcohol in many Russian regions just because of that. Not just a teenager, not just a parent or whatever. Anyone cannot buy alcohol on that day, okay? Russian authorities taking it seriously. Anyway, prom night is special. Prom night is very special. Kids just dream of having a good prom night, and they dress up. They dress up just like anywhere else. Girls try to buy themselves a nice outfit, dress, and the boys probably a suit or something like that. So, dresses and suits are not that cheap. And with special military operation going in our neighboring country and Russian economy is going down to the toilet, basically things are getting much more difficult. Russian parents of the graduates, they are under extra pressure to buy their kids good outfits. So Russian senators, Russian lawmakers decided to address this issue. And right now they're discussing a new law or an order. Anyway, they're discussing a new directive that will pay parents of the children, well, teenagers who graduate high school this year, some money to cover expenses to buy dresses and suits. Dresses for the girls, suits for the boys. Ain't this lovely? Russian government is caring about, regular people. Parents of children who graduate in high school. Nice, right? Well, this is not the first news of different financial aid to Russian parents, Russian unemployed, Russian military men, in all kinds of different social groups. Russian government actually is running quite a bit of different financial aids to Russian citizens, especially families. Okay, when a child is born, a mother or a family is given a certain amount of money. Don't quote me on that, but it used to be 100,000 rubles, couple $1,000s, 1,500 to 2,000, depending on various exchange rates. Then the second child, you're given even more money. The third child, more money. Now, you could only spend those money to buy yourself real estate, house, or apartment. I think that's the only way you could spend. So that the government wanted to make sure that parents of a newly born, they don't go out and start drinking and spending all that, blowing all that money, So it's normal, right? There is a slew of different social programs, such as monthly payments to pregnant women, a bit over $100 per month. One-time payment when the child is born, about $350 or a little bit over $350. Payment for taking care of a child for the first 18 months of life of that child. About, $140, $150 per month, something like that. Now, if family doesn't make that much money, if it's there are certain limits. I think if the family combined making less than $300 per person per month, then the family for every single child from 3 to 7 is given about $250 per child, give or take. There is a payment for the third child born. School children in some regions get this, $100 per school children to help offset expenses for notebooks, pens, pencils, clothing for school, things like that. Single mothers also get help, financial aid from the government, but not the divorced ones. If you're divorced, you're out of luck. But the ones widows who lost their husbands or whose husbands became disabled and they cannot work any longer. So there are certain groups of women that qualify for to be single, but not divorced. That's big difference. Now, not just single mothers or not just families for children, they get money. For example, unemployment, I checked. There is actually unemployment payment to every single person who's unemployed for certain period of time. I think it's up to 6 months. And the payments vary from $30 to $220 per month, depending on the experience, education. $30, hey, you know what? Every buck counts. It's better than nothing, right? Now, large families with 3 and more children, in Russia they're called multi-children families or something like that. They also get a break from the government. The government pays some, like a part of utility bills for those families. Children from such families go to free summer camps, things like that. So, just few examples. I'm telling you that so you understand that there is a program, a social program for Russians provided by Russian government, okay? And this social, a set of like social program, set of different social programs, different categories, it's been growing. It's been growing, especially I've heard quite a few talks recently. Lawmakers, Russian politicians saying, hey, we need to help people. Hard times, we understand, everyone's under sanctions, blah, blah, blah. We need to help. We need to address people's needs. We need to, provide extra help to unemployed, to mothers, and so forth. This is fantastic. I like that. But there's a catch. You see, the programs usually don't pay much. $100, a little over $100. Even if you're a member of a few programs like that, you get very bare minimum of what, a person can live on. In other words, if you're a recipient of a few programs, you probably will get enough money to get yourself bread and for your children bread, and for adults vodka. Okay? That's pretty much it. You will not starve. You will get some utilities, because some government might pay half of it or part of it. You will not freeze to death. I haven't heard of any Russians freezing for not having heat in the winter time. You will most likely have electricity because it's fairly cheap in Russia. And of course, you will have TV, and you will be receiving 21 or 22 TV programs for free, because this is not cable in Russia. It's broadcasted over air by the waves. Every TV has an antenna. Of course, cable channels are also available here in Russia, but you have to pay for them. If you can't afford it, you just install an antenna and you get 22 channels, enough to entertain, so to speak. So that's a very bare minimum. And the government is actually helping for a person, a Russian citizen, to get this bare minimum. And there are talks that the help will be more plentiful. There will be more programs. There will be more people who qualify for money and things like that. Now, again, ain't it lovely? The catch is that the government wants something in return. Now, these are speculations, and this is my opinion. Okay, I have not heard this news, this opinion, this statement from any government source, from anyone. This is me thinking. What I understand is going on is the government is providing some money, very basic minimum, to the citizens, saying, hey, there is something for you so you don't starve to death. But instead, you behave. You don't do certain things. Now, for this very minimal money, we're not telling you what to do. You can do anything you want to. But instead, we're telling you what not to do. You cannot go out and voice your opinion on certain things. You cannot break any federal laws. Well, no one can break any laws, but you sit low and you don't make fuss about it. Because, hey, you know what? This is the social contract. We provide you some, but you also give us back some. Okay? You go along the party line because, hey, we have the hand that feeds you. You don't bite that hand. Otherwise, we will not feed you, or worse. You don't look left and right. You don't think too much. You just, you have a TV, you watch TV, and enjoy your life. Very simple, very basic life, but it's enough to enjoy. It's something to enjoy. And this is what appears to me going to be in the future, might be, possibly, it might be a new social deal in Russia. Majority of people, due to tragic circumstances in the economy, the sanctions placed upon Russia. Well, we're not even talking about why the sanctions are placed. They're just the fact. The sanctions are placed on Russian government, on Russian companies, on Russian politicians, not on regular Russian people, but that doesn't matter, okay? You don't matter much. Just the sanctions are upon us because we're in the same boat, okay? Therefore, your life, we understand it's very difficult, so we give you, but you give us back. Now, I can compare to other countries, and in particular to the United States of America. And I've said many times that I don't like this system when the government provides you and controls you and is entitled to ask something back from you. I don't like that. That's not freedom. What I would love to see is that the Russian government actually does things to pamper business, pamper freedoms, pamper education, pamper freedom of choice, okay? It lowers taxes. It lowers government control or eliminates government control of businesses whatsoever. It greatly reduces licensing of all kinds of businesses. And it creates an ecosystem where business, small and large business, flourishes. Then, my friends, no one need to get these payments from the Russian government because everyone would have a decent paying job. Everyone would be making money. Everyone would be making enough to actually pay for everything out of his or her own pocket. And that's how it was in Russia back 15 years ago. Very few programs, almost non-existent. No one was complaining, okay? Now, tons of programs, okay? But the situation with businesses is very different. This is what I actually like to see as a new social Russian deal. Freedom, government plays very little role and it does not interfere with businesses whatsoever. Businesses are king. Government is there to support, protect, and nourish businesses. That's it. That's how it's supposed to be done. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing in Russia is the creation of this new social deal that I told you about. The government gives us, and it expects a few things back. Now, the big question is whether Russian citizens will accept this proposed new social deal or not. And this has been my message. I would like to ask you to comment. What do you think? What do you think that Russia should do? Would it be good for Russia to get this expansion of the social programs, or rather see strong businesses flourish, grow, and provide enough money, enough jobs, enough wages for people? What do you think? Please answer me in the comments. I'd really, really appreciate it. I'm going to turn on the comments, and before I do that, I want to ask you one thing. That's something new. I want you to help me spread my message. Please share it on social media. If you have Facebook account, I don't know, Twitter, please post it so other people have an opportunity to see that too. I think it's a pretty important question, message that I delivered today, because you, certainly, in the West, outside of Russia, you don't really understand and you don't see these little things that happen here every day. I do, and I try to put them into a larger picture, and I try to deliver this to you. I am turning on the comments, and I'd like to tell you a few rules. Please, common sense is the king. No crude usernames, no snide crude remarks and or hostile comments. English only, no trolling. This chat is for subscribers only. There are a few topics I'd like you to refrain from. There, everything Ukraine, Russian actions in Ukraine. There are different mediums and streams for that. Everything referring to actions of Russian army and casualties of Ukrainians and the Russians, and criticism, harsh criticism of top Russian leadership. Everything else is okay. Please be civil, keep this chat clean. Thank you so much, and I am back to the comments. Right off, I see the usual suspects. Hey, hope it's not buffering today. Please let me know if there's no buffering. I hope not. I didn't see any buffering. I was looking particularly for that. Reese Gray is number 1 today. Woohoo! Lorna, Mommy, Brianna, Bruce, Bomby, RM, Grosby, Harry Potnan, Yodi Racer, Ultra Sassy Becca, Martin, Dirk, Sylvia, James, Telembus, Amir, Bob S., Robert Bates, not seeing Robert today. Perhaps he will join us a little later here, or will comment a little later. Ludmila, Yoni, Chrissy, the usual suspects. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for joining this stream and hearing to my message. Reese Gray, thank you very much for super chat. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. Sounds to me that the government wants to trade loyalty for a fish instead of teaching its people to fish for themselves. Also, how can they afford all these programs? First, I absolutely agree with you. It's a very good metaphor. They want to trade loyalty for fish instead of teaching how to fish. Yes, 100%. How can they afford all these programs? Reese, Russia is a hugely rich country. The amount of money we're getting from gas and oil sales to Europe only covers everything. Okay, and this program's just little speck. They're not even comparable to the military programs that are running in the military part of the budget. Brianna B says, common sense is not always so common. That's true. Good evening from London, says Chrissy. Hello, hello. If you want me to notice and read your comment, please put it in caps, otherwise will be very difficult. Kerry, I just heard that Nike is leaving Russia for good now. Ouch. And that is true. Nike has decided to leave Russia. Well, I think at the end everyone will leave Russia. All the Western companies will leave. I mean, it's fairly obvious, you know. The ones who are staying are some Chinese companies. The juggernauts such as Huawei and another company. Xiaomi. There you go, Xiaomi. They're leaving. They're leaving quietly. See, they're not announcing with a huge bang, slam on the door. saying, oh, we live in Russia. No, they're saying we're staying. But they're decreasing, slowly decreasing trade, and will decrease it to the very bare minimum, Stream is smooth here in the United States, South Ohio. Thank you so much for writing. Sounds like capitalism is good. David, do we need to discuss that? Capitalism good? Darn right, capitalism is the best system out there so far. Thank you very much for $5 super chat, Amir. How do taxes work in Russia? What kind of percentage do they take? Is it personal income or VAT or other? Well, good question. It is personal income, 13% flat. No, it's not flat anymore. Used to be for any kind of income, 13% personal income tax. But now I think if you make over a certain amount, you pay 15%. Okay. VAT is 20% on most products. That's another tax. And there are plenty of other taxes. For companies, the income tax, tons of different taxes. Not as high as in the United States on average, especially 13% income tax, which is to me is not too bad. And if you are a small business, if you're like one person working alone, there are forms of having a company paying income 6%. Telembus, can Russia afford that social system for long? Very much so. I think it can afford it for a long time because Russia is not a poor country, at least for a few years. And then we'll see what happens. Early 2023 will be their showcase of what's going to happen to Russia, because I think that the sanctions, the effects of the sanctions are going to be seen 100% in its full force towards the end of this year, beginning of the next year, first quarter. Okay, we'll see what happens then. Blue, big love from Lithuania. Hopefully turmoil over Kaliningrad will end soon and peacefully. Maybe you heard anything about it on Russian media. Thank you so much, Blue. Big hugs. Every time a Lithuanian, Estonian, Latvian, Polish, Czech, Slovenian, Slovakian comes and messages something, really warms my heart. And if they send a super chat, which is much stronger message, then that just makes me really excited, because I know what kind of a hard relationship we've had in the past between our countries, and you reaching out to me with good, kind words is incredibly touching. Thank you so much. Answering your question, I hope that Kaliningrad turmoil will soon end, and it will end peacefully, because you know what? I, sitting here inside Russia, am hating to see what's going on with Kaliningrad. I understand why the action's taken, okay, and I don't think it's a will of one country, but it's a rule of European Union. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, of course, okay? And heck, you gotta follow the rules. That's pretty much it. Russia will retaliate. There have been a few threats in the Russian media from different politicians. But you know what? I wouldn't take them seriously now, because the least thing they need and they can do is to have another military conflict with another country. And as far as I understand, the country is a part of NATO. I think they're just threats. Russian media definitely has covered it. I also watched not only Russian media on this topic, so I hope that it will end soon. MM93 must win. Thank you so much. Greetings from Delaware. Thank you very much for the super chat, and greetings and warmest wishes from south of Russia. James, hi to our fabulous blue wrenches. What's that? Southern Ohio is in the house. Hello, hello. Carlsberg is my favorite beer. I've tried Carlsberg, Timbo. Not too bad. Portuguese greetings, my friend. Howdy, howdy, Lord. Commander Knox. Samsa Solman, thank you so much for €1. Every dollar, ruble, and euro counts. Frank, that is just pacifier cheddar for the people and the better solution not going to happen. Frank, I'm not sure. I think I don't understand what the context of this. Jeffrey, Mr. K, do the churches help people needing additional finances? I haven't heard of that. Churches usually ask for donations themselves. They always need some renovation of the church, new roof, new painting, stuff like that. So they have the donation boxes. There might be some like foundations around churches with help, like set up with help of church, but I think it's not the official church policy, but it's rather initiatives of local priests. Okay, there are places like that. For example, Natasha is one of the founders of the charity that helps single moms here in Rostov, and the church, the local priest, is also one of the founders. Edna, in Finland, all income and extra income like investment are 53%. Just curious. Edna, I personally know about taxes in Finland and in Russia. It's talk of the town always when we talk about how low Russian taxes are. They usually say, look at our neighbor, look at Finland, look how much they pay there. And everyone goes, oh my God. Something like that. Tracy Madura, hello from Las Vegas. So excited to finally join live. Viva Las Vegas. Howdy, howdy, Tracy. Laszlo, hello from Hungary. Howdy, howdy, Laszlo. Ryan Cameron, good to see you. Unavailable. Hi, Konstantin. My name is JJ Griffin. Nice to meet you, JJ Griffin. Our blue wrenches. Oh, blue wrenches. The mods. Rock and roll. I got it. Yes, the mods are rocking and rolling. And not just today. Always. Bombay single moms get big tax breaks here in the States. I remember that. Yeah, in Maine, lots of people. I was running 5 or 6 hotels, small and medium-sized hotels. We had a little chain. I was a general manager. And we had local women who had 2 or 3 kids, single moms, coming in and asking so I could pay them under the table. They wouldn't show income to the state, so they could keep on collecting unemployment, this breaks that the government gives them, food stamps, all kinds of stuff. I asked, one had 3 kids, and I asked how much she was getting from the government. She told me, I was amazed. It was more than I was making. It was huge, like federal help and then state of Maine help, and then she was making a little bit here and there, not declaring it, and then combined her income was formidable. Corrine, greetings from Holland. we're told that Russians are used to hardship and will never revolt. Is that so? Well, Corinne, howdy. I don't really know. It's a question not to me, but to the Russians. Russians did revolt once, back in late August of 1991, if you remember, and the consequences. The Soviet Union fell apart, so if they're telling you they will never revolt, or they never revolt, they revolted at least once. Time will tell. Frank, thank you so much for clarification. I got you. Yodi Racer, what are gun laws like there and can you buy them? Well, I certainly cannot buy laws, or perhaps I could if I had lots of money, but concerning guns, I cannot buy any guns except for hunting rifle, and I have to go through a very, very tough process of obtaining a rifle. So hunters have them, no one else does. Peter Pan, is there also support for families if a member has a fatal accident abroad? I have not heard of help like that. There are many insurance policies. When you fly out, for example, for a vacation, they sell you a package, like a packaged vacation, and they sell you insurance, which costs pennies, really pennies, not much. Then that covers stuff like that. Dominikas, hi Kostya, what do you think about Lithuania Kaliningrad situation? I just I just answered a few minutes ago, but to repeat, I don't think that there are threats from the Russian officials. Not too many, but there are, and not from the top guy. I think those threats are baseless because Russia is too thinned out. It cannot deliver any more actions to any other places. I could be wrong, but I don't want to be wrong. Okay, so that's the situation. Yodi Racer, $10. Thank you so much. You didn't write any message, but $10 is pretty strong message. Hod, would you please describe the concept of Russian world? I unfortunately cannot do that because I don't know myself what Russian world is. No one has explained me this thing yet. NDB, how's the shopping mall doing? Well, the last time I was there about 2 weeks ago, local shopping mall here in Rostov, not well, nearly empty. Stores, no customers, basically. Was buying flowers to my wife, a few roses. Stopped by this like a street in Rostov where dozens and dozens of flower shops, small, tiny flower shops. An owner usually sells you everything, okay? So that's a micro business and very popular place in Rostov. I asked how's business. They said since February 24th, big time. People buy less. They still get their flowers from Holland, and there are talks that the Dutch will not sell to Russians anymore. They do not sell directly to Russians anymore. So the flowers must travel to Armenia, and then through Armenia delivered here, Armenia by planes, and it's like so expensive. So the flowers went up in price, and few people buy them because they have less and less money. It's not just madness. So everyone's hurting, not just shopping malls. Margaret Thatcher said once, "There's no such thing as public money." Well, Valentina Matvienko once said, that's one of the top Russian officials. She once said a different thing. She said, money that are in the provinces, money that is in Moscow, it's all Tsar's money. That's, I quote her. She said that. A little different from Margaret Thatcher. Raymond S. Hello from Carpinteria. Whoa, Raymond. Carpinteria. I was very close to becoming the resident of Carpinteria. Carp. The locals used to call it carp. You want to trade places, even for a few days? Piotr, warm welcome from Poland. Stay strong. Don't let politicians to divide us. Thank you so much, Piotr. Was talking to a friend of mine from Portsmouth, New Hampshire today. He's married to Gosia, a Polish lady. They have a son, finished 7th grade. We were discussing this situation. My friend is from Murmansk originally, and he's going to Poland to visit his in-laws and, his wife's family. He said it's going to be very interesting experience. His wife told him, don't tell anyone that you're Russian, especially Ukrainians who are in Poland. Allison Moyers, howdy, my friend from Parrish, Florida. Allison, howdy. Thank you for the super chat. Very good to see you back and to hear from you. David, another super chat. Governments have found the key to compliance. Money, my rules. Sad but true. Well, I hope they haven't found this key to compliance in the United States, because when I remember living there, the whole idea was not getting free money from the government. It was working for the money, making millions, but making yourself. Having business, working hard, but making incredible amounts of money. That's how America worked. I hope it still works this way. Excuse me. TC, what social media is currently allowed in Russia? Well, Facebook and Instagram are two social medias that are named extremist organizations here in Russia. And Meta, its parent company, it's also extremist organization. Yet Russians are allowed to post there. Basically, they're not allowed. They're not prosecuted for accessing Facebook through VPNs and Instagram through VPNs. I contacted a few communities because we advertised on Facebook. Traffic has been decreased by 85%. So only 15% of Russians access Facebook on a regular basis. The same goes for Instagram. So what else? There are Russian networks, Odnoklassniki, VK, something else. I don't use them. Hoodoo, Texas, thank you very much. Governments either fear the people or the people fear the government. The two basic choices. Would love to see our RO Bible on your desk. Also love the green light as contrast. Great office. Thank you so much. Hey, I came up with this idea of it's not really a green light. It's greenish, So I came out with this idea a couple streams ago. I'm glad you like it. Reese Gray, again. Are you able to comment on President Tokayev's statement at the International Economic Forum? That's Kazakhstan president, in case you didn't know. Oh, my friend, I know. Oh, you just insulted me. No, I'm just joking. Of course I know who Tokayev is. I know of the statement he made, and that statement, oh my God, that was an insult. They are not showing it on Russian media. Perhaps one or two outlets showed it briefly, but they tried to stay away from this topic. They kind of like forgot it. Oh, it's not important, Let's show something else. What can I say? You heard the message loud and clear. Am I able to comment on President Takayev's statement? I can, but there's not much to comment. He said everything himself. A lot of Russians have told me, did you see that? That Kazakh president, he just stabbed us with a knife in the back. And I'm thinking, wait a second. If you're allowed to stab you in the back by too many people, you must be doing something really wrong. Don't let them stab you or behave so that no one wants to stab you. By the way, I don't think it was a stab in the back. I think it was just a position that Kazakhstan showed, and his leader showed very strongly. Okay. That's as much as gonna say. Luke King, in Russia looking into is Russia's looking into a central digital currency? There have been talks about Russian ruble, digital form, digital ruble, but they're just talks. The government would have the capability to limiting purchases to what the government allows, such as food, utilities, etc. So full control over how you spend money. We're light years away from this system. I think they would love that. But the thing is, they can control our currency in many ways is already digital because it's in the banks, and we can very conveniently, we used to be able to, but not any longer, but still, we carry our debit cards, credit cards, telephones, and we can pay everywhere with our cards. We don't have to have cash in our pocket. That's digital currency, okay? You don't need to invent anything else. It's been done. That's how they control. If you use electronic form of payment, such as card, they control you anyway, okay? There's a new law. It's actually, I will come back to this in a couple minutes. Stefan Tsvetansky, 10 BGN. Oh, Bulgarian. Okay. Bulgarian money. Greetings from Bulgaria. Do you think Russia will disconnect from the internet? I know Runet was tested in the recent past. Stefan, thank you for the super chat. I don't think that Russia will completely disconnect through the internet, but it can install a firewall that, like Chinese have, the Chinese one called the Great Digital Firewall, Great Wall or something like that. Digital Great Wall. So Russia is capable of installing exactly same thing. Will they do that or not? I don't know. They could have done it already, but things are not going too bad inside Russia for the Russian government. So why would they? First thing they would do before disconnecting from the internet is disconnect YouTube. Okay, but YouTube is still online, and so far so good. Devon Harris, thank you. Is there a rural small towns versus urban cities divide in Russia? In the US, there's a lot of resentment between city and rural people. Stay strong. Whoa, this is the first time I hear that there's a lot of resentment between city and rural people in the USA. Things have changed, haven't they? I lived in Maine. I mean, Portland, I wouldn't say it's a huge urban city, but there are 100,000 people. There was no divide between folks in Portland and folks in the country, commuters going back and forth to work and stuff like that. In Russia, no, there's no divide. Financial divide, yes. People in big cities make more, small towns make less, but I wouldn't say that they're hostile to each other, no. I wanted to come back to one of the super chats. Bob asks, I am watching time, about 6 minutes left. If a court rules that a Russian citizen owes money to the government goes after person's money. And there's a special department within the government. It's called Судебные приставы. I don't know how to translate that. Court clerks. And they just start digging information, contacting you on the phone, and they place blocks on your bank account. Okay, but that's a lengthy process, and the process required human beings, and a lot of debts were not collected because the clerks was so short. If the debt was little, like for example fine for speeding or something like that, they wouldn't bother and they would go for larger amounts of money. Well, recently they made a law that basically makes the process of collecting money from a person by court order almost automatic and electronic. No person involved required. Now everything is done automatically and electronically. The case is created and lien on your bank account is placed. Just like that. The law was created. It's not in effect, but I think this summer it will be in effect. Okay, so we'll see what happens. It's much easier for the government now to go after your money. Lawrence Mitchell had family there. We call Las Vegas Lost Wages. Those beautimous casinos aren't built on payouts. I know. I've been to Vegas. Quite a few times. I'm not a gambler, but I managed to lose like 2 or 3 or perhaps even 350 playing a poker on the machine, and it happens so fast, just like boom, 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 within like 30 minutes or 20 minutes. It was like, that's enough. I remember. Lost wages, yeah, that's true. Well, Vegas has a lot to offer in terms of entertainment. I know it's paid not, it's built not on payouts, but if you don't gamble much, you can still enjoy everything that it has to offer. Okay, Robert Bates is here. Hey, Robert. Just saw your message. Everyone, concerning of the gas prices in Rostov and everywhere else, they haven't gone up. The prices for regular, for premium, are fairly the same as they were on February 24th. From what I understand, the government has set a block on raising prices for gasoline because they are fearing social backlash, and the Russians are very sensitive to gasoline prices. But as far as I understand, now they start climbing up because this ban to raise prices is off. Luke King, thank you so much for another super chat. Regarding your message, people generally like when government gives them money. Do you think people will prefer more government payments over employment? How we doing on time? Couple minutes. Look. I think that if government pushes this agenda of giving money, it seduces people into laziness, into dependence on someone else, not on just on yourself. I was in Switzerland in 2016, and the Swiss, they were trying to, well, they were holding a referendum, nationwide referendum, on whether there should be this default income for everyone. I think something like, $1,200 American dollars per family member, per person. So figure, if it's four people family, it's almost $5,000 for free. And there was a huge campaign against this measure because Swiss know, they're smart. They know that once people start getting money for nothing, they will stop working. I know there was an initiative in Finland. There was an experiment. They took like 1,500 people, something like that, and they started paying them of different incomes, different walks of life, so to speak, and they started paying them considerable amount of money just out of nothing to see how they perform, what they do within the next year or so. Well, they got the results and they canceled the program because the results were not satisfactory. People started getting lazy. If you want to destroy people's initiative, destroy entrepreneurial spirit, destroy drive for better life, then you start give out money, okay? And that's it. You're done. In one generation, you will get a country of lazy people. I really like the values when you don't get anything from the government. Nothing. But the government doesn't bother you. Taxes are low. There's no interference from the government. There's no licensing, anything like that. There's free market, okay? To me, that's the perfect system. If you want more on that, go ahead and read. One of my most favorite books is Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, okay? That's book just about that. Okay, she's describing Russian government, basically, what is happening right now. Oh, okay, so this prayer time. Out of time. I am asking everyone to join me in prayer, please. If you're a believer, non-believer, atheist, doesn't matter. We're all the same. In my eyes, we're absolutely same. I don't divide people by their religion, by their faith. To me, we all have hearts. They're beating. Therefore, we have love in our hearts. And then God is love. Therefore, we have God in all of our hearts. And if some of us don't believe in God, it's not such a big deal. What really matters is that the God believes in us. That's wonderful, my friends. So please join me in prayer. Oh, fantastic message from Hoodoo, Texas. I am an atheist, but the prayer is a very good ending to the stream. You are religious. Let your religious be your shield, not your sword. Well, Hoodoo, thank you so much for $10, and please join us. Don't call it the prayer. Call it just sending good wishes to people, along with me, along with everyone. That can't hurt anyone, right? Might help, even if there's little chance in your eyes that it might help someone, it's worth trying, right? So please join us. Dear God, thank you so much for this wonderful day. Thank you for giving us food on our tables, roofs over our heads, and surrounding us with people that we love, family, friends, colleagues, good people. Thank you for surrounding us with your love and miracles. Please help stop bloodshed in Ukraine. We really, really need peace for our countries between Russia and Ukraine. Reach out hearts of people who are there to make decisions whether to continue to stop. Fill them with love, fill them with mercy, compassion, remorse, forgiveness, so their hearts will get softer and they will stop this bloodshed. Please reach out and touch Vladimir Putin's heart and fill it with love and mercy and remorse and forgiveness, so he makes the decision to stop it. Send angels to Ukraine, please, to help everyone who has been affected by this tragedy. Please help everyone who needs to be helped. Please help everyone who's helping this situation in Ukraine, people who have opened their homes, their wallets, their hearts, sending money, prayers, wishes. Bless them and help them. Please help my country, Russia. Please send an army of strongest angels with sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, to get rid of the demons that have hijacked my country and make it run by the angels, so it shines again, is a great neighbor and great member of international community again. Please give us wisdom to raise our children in the way that when they grow up, they will make this world a better place. They will make a better job than we have done. They will never fight with one another, but love one another. Please help everyone who is in this live stream chat praying with me. Thank you very much for bringing us together here and giving us this opportunity. Please help everyone who's praying along and answer their prayers. Make their wishes come true. I would like to ask you to help a few people who reached out and asked to be helped. They are 9 Veka, Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Alan, Michael, Buzz and Mary, Jean-Paul, Paula, Janine, Michael, Brian's mom, Marlene, Maudie, Narnian Lady, Susan S., Sabrine, Susan, Fiona, Madeline, Chirper, Paul, Stephen Allen, Sandy, Priscilla, Michelin, Martin, Donald from Wisconsin, USA, who is praying, asking to pray for himself and separately for his country, the United States of America. I also want to be on this list, and I would like to ask you to pray for my country, Russia, and my neighbor country, Ukraine. Ariana, Lise Dumbrell, and Bruce B. I also have 3 children on the list I would like to make special prayer for. They are Maverick, Sebastian, and Britzel Andrews. Britzel is fighting a very serious disease right now. Please perform miracle on her. Show us how you do miracles. Show her and her family. They all, her and her family, they really, really waiting for your help. They need your miracle to be performed. Please do that. Thank you very much. Amen. My friends, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for praying along. Tomorrow there will be 3 streams as usual. Friday, hard day for me because very hard day at work and 3 streams on top. Well, two of them will be fun, and the third one will be more serious. One for sponsors and one for Patreons at 8 and 9 or 7 and 8 p.m. Moscow time. I will make an announcement right now for sponsors and patrons of Patreon. The streams will be fun. I usually answer all personal questions, any kind of questions, and we just have nice conversations with few people there. Much slower streams, much more relaxed, it's fun. So please, if you're a sponsor or a patron, join the streams tomorrow. If you're not a sponsor yet, become one so we can chat tomorrow. And you are absolutely awesome and you rock. That's what I wanted also to tell you. And thank you, moderators. Thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow.